I had a TC a couple months ago. I did an overnight EEG about 2 weeks ago and got diagnosed with epilepsy. They started me with 750 milligrams of Keppra twice a day. 23 years old, pretty healthy guy. I regularly go to the gym, play sports, go out, etc. I've decided to stop taking this shit. Honestly, it makes me irritable and angry, way worse than before. I probably will never go back to neuro unless I keep having seizures. Is there still a chance of increased seizures from quitting Keppra, even though I've been on it for only 2 weeks? Yep. Well, I never quit Keppra, but I'm just a hater of Keppra, so I said yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's in your system.
I say once it's in your system, ain't no turning back.
Nope.
Unless unless the doctor helps you out with that. But
yeah. I would say if you hate it that much that you are willing to take your life in your hands.
That's a high starting dose.
Goddamn doctor. I know. I'm like 750. I'm looking at mine.
Twice a day.
That's a lot. I was at just under that, and I'm a tiny ass person, and he's a big dude. Like, come on, guys. Like,
oh yeah. Don't hesitate.
Don't stop. Like, go to the doctor. You will hate yourself so bad. And there's all these other things, right, that can happen when you stop taking the Keppra besides the fact that you can stop breathing and have a seizure, right? You can get like suicidal and shit. I mean, I hate to, excuse me, I said the bad word, but you can get like, self-harming.
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah, I totally have
okay.
Your phone in tonight.
You think about it, even if you don't really do it, you can think about it, and that's almost bad enough sometimes.
Yeah, especially when it wears off and you realize, if you even remember that those thoughts even ran through your head, it's like,
yeah,
this is for real,
and it's scary. I would not fool with that, dude. I'm sorry. I know it sucks. It's a shitty drug. I am sorry. I know you have to take it, Katie, and I wish that they would do something to make. Well, if you're okay, if it's not killing you, then
no. This group has definitely inspired me to be more proactive about my own treatment and not just decide that I can manage, to fade out sometimes and make the calls and check in and satisfy the family with that. But I can do better than this.
Yes, that that is not probably the only reason I've complained about my medications and not just dealt with the shit is because my husband was so proactive and saved his own life with his shit. If he hadn't done that and taught me that, then I would just be like every other patient. I would just be like, yeah, okay, the doctor knows best. But
exactly.
Sometimes
I can't use that excuse anymore. I can't use that excuse anymore. And whether we're going to be moving this summer, like big things are happening this summer, and it can't be an excuse. If I want to continue all this like school funding and everything, I got to get established with an address and residency for like 6 months before you can apply for anything in a new state. So might as well just get a doctor to the list.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing these things anyway, so
make sure it's somebody who listens when you say things. That's just it. Like,
exactly.
Freaking doctor kept telling him, well, nothing I can do about your migraines. Nothing I can do with it. And he said, there's something wrong deep inside my head. And she said, fine, and wrote a thing out for a neurologist, a referral. And she saw him, and 2 days later, he was getting an MRI and the EEG to get the freaking surgery 6 months later. It was that serious. But this woman for 5 years kept telling him there was none she could do, none she could do, and blowing him off. So like, everybody needs to be proactive about their health. I don't care what your situation is or what kind of health problem you might be having. Don't blow yourself off, because it could be way worse than you think it is. You don't be like, I can deal with the pain.
And talk about following your own advice. This is the kind of stuff that I'm posting to people all over Reddit. Don't wait. Don't trust them. Don't follow advice. Don't stand for the, prior authorizations, all that.
Mm-hmm. You need to be your own best advocate because nobody else would do it for you. Unless you've got a husband or a wife who's going to be that person for you, you've got to be that person for yourself.
Oh yeah.
And God, don't let them blow you off. That's the worst thing. And it's the most important thing, no
Exactly.
matter
It's
what
so
your
easy
health
to let
condition is.
go, but it's the worst.
Don't let them blow you off. It's so hard to do because gosh, don't you always go in there and feel like I'm being a pain. Oh, I'm complaining. Oh,
I can count on my fingers now. I don't need to be here. I'm fine.
or whatever it is. Yeah. I mean, for
Yeah,
real. Yeah, good. All right. I'm glad that we are inspiring each other and
absolutely.
and getting each other to do.
Well, I like hearing a lot about Kepra hate. So I found some more about Kepra. It says Kepra rage. Anyone? I just started
There
on
you
Kepra.
go.
My dose will increase in a week. I'm curious about other people who experience with Kepra and if they experience mood swings and rage, started right away or developed after a while. Right now, it's been making me real sleepy, and I'm about to take my fourth dose. My friend told me they take gabapentin because Keppra had too many side effects with it. Hmm. I don't take Keppra, but okay. Does it start soon? How
I
soon did
mean,
the
what I want to know
emotions
about this
change?
Kepper rage, okay, yeah, I punched the wall yesterday, but it was prompted. I was mad about 100 things.
Sorry.
So, I mean, is this Kepper rage thing absolutely unprovoked?
Sometimes you're mad about something.
That's what I'm saying. I
Maybe
got a
we
14-year
overreacted a
old
little
and
bit
a
is the only
3-year-old, and
problem.
we don't have a car right now. So yeah, we're all getting a little,
Yeah, get kind
sick
of
of being
tense.
around each other.
Yeah, yeah. Nobody wants to hear about my goddamn seizures. That's for fucking sure.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if I want to expand on this little episode, but is it totally unprovoked? Because I wouldn't call it Kepper rage. I don't assume it's from the meds because it doesn't happen like that much.
Yeah.
But the walls around here are paper thin, so I gotta keep it under control.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that I did very good with it. I don't think that I don't think that and I did not take very much of it, I will say. But
Yeah.
in the month or two that I took it, because I'm like sitting here looking at my damned full bottle, um, I think that my husband and my children felt that it changed my personality to a degree, but I don't know that I felt that. I wasn't happy though. What's,
Yeah, that might be where I'm at. So,
it wasn't like
okay.
I was used to being, working at an ice cream shop. Happy go lucky. I make ice cream cakes. This is the best job. I get to play any music I want. I get to hire
Oh,
teenagers. I
and
get
you
to
got the
friggin'
playlist?
I get to drive home for lunch. I get serious and I
Wow.
make $25 an hour. Like this couldn't be
Ooh.
better. And I usually have 10 hours overtime a week at least, right? So like
Hello.
this is really good for me. And I really, really love it, right? And so going back and you would think I'd be happy again, right? I was a happy human being. Really, I loved my kids, my life, and everything. But boy, that Kepra took a big chunk. I don't know if I've got it back. Ever.
Yeah, someone else, they were talking about Kepra, and he was like, I have, he was like, I'm not on Kepra now, but I had to take it. And he was just like, he's like, I know the vibe of feeling sorry for yourself all the time because you're angry at people and going off on people, and you're sad and you're angry at the same time because you're snapping off at people that don't deserve it and don't understand why you're snapping at them. And I was
Yeah,
like, I totally
they think
understand
they
that.
know you as this like super happy, nice, kind, generous person, and then all of a sudden you're like not.
Not.
That's what he said too. He said, so do you want to be happy and epileptic, or do you want to be raging and not epileptic? And I was like, that's a good way to put it.
It
So I can
is.
sure be happy, and without epileptic, I can be happy epileptic as long as I make sure I don't have ones that hurt myself. But I think it progressively would get better. I mean, worse if you don't take your pills. You're just gonna have worse and worse
You
seizures.
need to take your pills, but you need to
Yeah.
talk to your doctor about what they're doing to your life. Because if your life doesn't feel
I was,
like
I was okay
it's
with letting go
worth
out.
taking the pills to keep.
I think you're frozen.
That everybody says they always start there no matter what. So
You kind of froze for like 30 seconds, like you had a focal.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, we missed the last few.
My thing went unstable. Yeah, my lovely sky, whatever. Um, I just was saying, if you're not happy enough to take the pills to stay alive, because you know that you're gonna have a seizure without them, then you definitely need to talk to your doctor about changing your medication, even if it's
Yeah,
keeping you.
just the fact that it's come up as a subject now is enough to convince me that it's gonna need to be brought up.
You need
But
to talk.
again, that's this community reminding me that there was a normal before this,
Mm-hmm.
and
Right.
I didn't journal about that.
Yeah.
I only
I'm gonna
journal
go
about the
through the
bad stuff that
comments of
happened.
that. I'm gonna go through the comments of the Kepper Rage comment of the post. Someone said, mine started pretty quick. I got snippy with my husband right when I started it, recognized the behavior, and called the doc to get me off of it.
See, there you go. That's good, but not everybody gets that. And not everybody knows there's a thing to get
And imagine the
onto.
children that are dealing with this in school.
Oh, yeah,
You
right.
know, they go off on a teacher, and
Oh,
there's more repercussions to that than would ever actually be believed by a guidance counselor or a principal. And a
dang.
parent coming in saying, well, he's on meds now. That's it. You know, they write it off as like, okay, this one's gonna have to be in special classes and whatever they think. But oh, that would be the worst.
Oh, man, I can't imagine.
Yeah.
That does not, I mean, ugh, eek.
And like the whole
I,
time Reese was talking, I couldn't tell how old she was. I figured she might have just
Reese is in her 30s, right, Pookie?
yeah, she did mention it eventually, but
Yeah, I think
at
she said early
first I couldn't
30s.
tell.
Yeah, she's in her
Yeah,
early 30s, I believe. 33, maybe 34.
yeah,
30
yeah. So,
something.
but at first
She's
when
very
she
young.
mentioned the stroke and all the other things, I was thinking she might have looked college age.
She
That's
does look
just
college age actually,
Right.
but
That's what I was
yeah.
a
thinking.
little bit
She's
older than
much
that.
younger, but she said 30 something, so she isn't as young as I thought.
Still just so much to deal with. You know that's been happening for years.
God,
Right.
that's terrible. I
It's
just
just
feel
like
every
one
time we
thing
talk,
after another.
I know. That's why I chat with her a lot. I just because I think she's such an incredible, exceptional lady, just like you. I told my husband all
Oh,
about how
thank you.
you're doing homesteading because that's what he really wants to do. I mean,
Yeah,
I was raised in a very rural place, and he
absolutely.
his stepfather had a farm, and he raised pigs with his stepfather for years, that. Yeah, so yeah, he wants to do that. He's very excited that you're doing that. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
With kids, it's
Well,
awesome.
it should happen. It should happen eventually. But financial advisors actually helped us decide to change course and make sure
Really?
that we get the right place to let the majority of what we have saved up invest and grow for about
Okay.
3 years.
Okay.
So that way we can get the property that's, nothing less than 10 acres with the barn and, maybe a coop already there or something. But I mean, we're being really strict about having some kind of storm shelter or safe room or,
Yeah.
something more than a basement,
Sure. You
especially in Tennessee.
gotta be careful. You got kids.
Yeah. Yeah. So once again, I mean, I thought it was like the worst curse word ever, but we're going to rent for another couple years.
Like I said,
Just
we did it for 20 years. What you gonna do?
exactly. Exactly. What's another couple years here? Daughter can go straight to having a room. We
Yeah,
don't have to do like the fifth wheel on the property while the house is getting built.
right, right.
You know, no RV in the scenario anymore. So
Hmm.
it has its benefits, its perks, but I can't always assume like I might die tomorrow, so we have to do this now.
Well, yeah, I understand that too, and I worry about that for my family. But, geez, I'm just, the last couple weeks, I have been very unhappy. I need to be
Yeah,
happier. So
it's
I
really
think about
annoying.
you guys, and when I think about you guys, I get happier.
There you go.
Okay,
I seen this post. I seen a post on a different site. There was this guy dancing, and he was like, "This is me after." I think he said every time he leaves somewhere or something like that, and I was just like, "That's me after every day after this."
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm like, it lifts me up to talk to you guys and to know. And I know that maybe we're not medical professionals, but we all have things that are important to share to somebody. And there's somebody who's going to watch or listen that's going to get something out of it, right? So we should all be proud of that and think, well, at least we're being useful, right? We've got this
Exactly.
neurological condition. It's the most common neurological condition in the whole world, and we're sharing what little bit that we personally know or experienced, and we're going to try to help other people with it, even if that's all we've got.
And just with like 3 to 5 members in a group, we can expand on one topic for hours.
There you go.
So
Exactly.
Yes,
that just feels like
sure
such
can.
a burden, such a relief every
It
time.
does, yes. Especially when, like you're saying, Katie, you have no car and you're stuck there with your kids, and you're like, we're driving each other crazy after a while. It's so good to have some adult, like, and I'm driving my husband crazy because he's the only adult I get to talk to. Or I say, oh, the neighbors were out doing such and such a thing. He's like, oh, you just stand there and stare at them. And I'm like, I don't, but I just walked past the window and I'm bored. What do you?
Right.
Oh yeah.
And Pookie, I know you babysit for your sister, and that must be exciting to some degree because kids are always cool. You They're always interesting.
Yeah,
I don't
it
know
was
how
cool.
young. I don't know how young your nieces and nephews are, right? I don't, or niece. I don't know
And
how.
there was the dog.
Yeah, babysitting the
Yeah.
dog.
No, there was there's a really nice dog. She's really really nice. She's a pit bull. Um,
Okay.
she's one of the short leg ones. I think they call her a bully.
Right.
Really
Right.
nice
Okay.
dog.
Hmm.
She's yeah, like big poodle. Like she
What?
would anything to anyone.
Wow.
It's
Like we were looking at some posts on Instagram where people like had someone was like breaking their house or whatever, and like hold them on the ground and stuff, and then they put the dog food out, and the dog eats the food, not help them. That's my sister's dog. Gonna eat the food and sit there and watch.
My mom had a rescue bully. Yeah, she passed away, but she did have one, and she never got anywhere near my kids, and my kids were all like super toddlers when she was around. So at least there's that.
Yeah,
I
dog
have some
breed.
more of the comments inside of the Kepper Rage thing, so I'm gonna keep going with the Kepper Rage
Okay.
comments. I got 3 more. I'm not gonna go on too much because I know
Right.
you're taking it. I don't want you having you over there depressed.
You
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 heard
got me
100
No, we're
thinking
not
comments.
picking on you,
logically, I
Katie.
promise. I have no time for depression, so logic is the only way for me. But yes, thank
Good,
you.
good. Don't let it
All
bring you
right,
down.
it says not Kepper Rage. That is more along the lines of a psychotic break. You're
Oh
asking
God.
yourself why all these people are in the way of your car. It's because you're driving on the sidewalk. Kepler decreases your mental abilities, which can be too much for some, overactive thinking that can cause things like anxiety or irritability. It's like how some people love cannabis while others cannot manage themselves while high.
This is a true fact.
Other comment, there is still McDonald's sweet and sour sauce on my ceiling from when I took Kepra. It turned me into someone I'm still embarrassed and ashamed of. But with that said, it really helps others, and some people don't have those issues. I had to switch to Depakote.
We met Kevin who took Depakote, right?
Yeah, I think he's still on Depakote.
And he's also has the VNS.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that
Yeah, the
was
heart
the one
one.
that was, yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember if I'm saying it right, but yeah, the one that's the heart
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Wow.
He said it works. Well, we've seen that it works for 6 years.
Yeah.
And that's what
Yeah,
got me
another
thinking
comment.
too. How different could it be? Was it just because? And I always had the theory that when I go off my meds, when I cause those, when the seizures are caused by those withdrawals, they're worse, without a doubt.
They're
So if I'm doing these sleep studies, they're doing this, sticky EEG thing to find out supposedly where all the foci or focal points of these seizures are. If I'm causing like the worst kind, maybe they didn't need to go this far with the implant. Maybe the natural focal points really were just temporal.
Yeah.
So once again, 2020 hindsight, no, doesn't do me any good now. But we'll see.
Another one says, was on Kepler for a short time because the rage was real. Started right away. Went back into Depakote. ER's extra release, which was what they put me on after trying phenobarbital.
Phenobarbital?
Yeah, sounds familiar.
There we go. I heard of it, but
Yeah.
you got some of that? You got some of
Somewhere in the
everything on
insurance
deck.
claims.
What's it what?
We were saying you got all the pills on deck right there. You got like the pharmacist vibe going right now.
These are the ones that failed so far.
Okay, there you go.
I found my box of failed ones yesterday. For some bizarre reason, I had them packed up with my sewing machine stuff, and my daughter asked for my sewing machine and stuff. So I went in the garage and I got the sewing machine box, and then I found this taped up box of failed meds. Plus, I have another bag of other meds that I've taken that's upstairs. It's huge.
Yes. There was a box of school supplies during the move. I don't know how or what, but I found like a pair of socks that were missing for the longest time. And yeah, seizures happen when during moving and packing and things get mixed up for sure.
I
can't wait to get back in the pod and see what we find.
I found I found these earrings and the earrings that my husband and I wore in our wedding inside the same box with the sewing machine stuff, all of the stuffing for like stuffed animals, all of my sewing machine scissors, like serious stuff. Because when I worked at the ice cream shop, when the pandemic started, I repainted the store. Had 20-foot ceilings. I repainted the whole store. And then they took out all of the booths, right? Because they didn't want anybody to sit. So he had me start sewing the booths, like sewing new covers for the booths because they were ancient and they were cracked open. So I was sewing in the corner half the time during the pandemic too. But I can't believe that I was on this 20-foot tall ladder for like 6 months painting this stupid store. And then 3 months later, when I'm sewing this stuff, I get epilepsy. Holy crap, I could have killed myself.
Yeah. Talk about risk beyond risk.
And not even knowing that there was anything wrong with it at all.
Oh my god. And paint aren't like strong smells a trigger for some people?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh.
You can get That was the thing that actually supposedly flipped it on was the fact that there was those wildfires, and I know Pookie knows what I'm talking about, in Northern California that turned the sky red for
Yes,
weeks.
that
And
made news over here.
all of the air conditioning in our building went out. So all of those freezers put off heat behind them. So it was like
Oh,
130 degrees behind the freezer. You could walk behind it with a thing and tell, like a a temperature gauge, and tell how hot it was behind it. The air conditioner completely out. So we had the front door and the back door propped open. We're breathing all of that burnt crap and we're burning ourselves to death. It was awful. I gave myself heat stroke and breathed that stuff
oh
for weeks,
no.
and that's what did it, I guess. I mean, well, turned it on. It would have happened eventually, but
Seriously, it sounds like that could, somebody who doesn't have epilepsy could have a seizure from that.
Well, that's basically what they told me was, oh, everybody's due to have one. You probably just did this to yourself. And I was like, well, okay, so thanks a lot, but okay. Still, are you sure I'm not gonna have another one? This is kind of serious. Like I drive and I have kids and like this is a big deal. Like I cook and yeah, and they were, oh no. And exactly 1 month and 2 days after I got my license back from having a grand mal, I had another grand mal, and my coworker called my husband to come get me, and I had it 5 minutes after I walked in the front door, and we only lived 5 minutes from the store. So I was about to have it in the middle of the store or driving my car. It's just a freaking miracle. She is, I tell her whenever I talk to her how much an angel she is. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then after she moved and moved in with her fiance, we got this other girl that was trained as a paramedic working there, and she attached to me, and she was like, I can tell, and she could tell when something was wrong with me. She would drag me to the back, she'd give me pills, she would take care of me. Oh my gosh. She was living with her grandparents, and they only lived 2 blocks from me. So I was like, oh my God. But yeah, after she left, I was like, I'm really not safe here anymore. I really, really have to
Yeah,
go.
you stayed as long as you possibly could.
Way, way longer than I should have. Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Wow.
It's too bad though. Such a sad thing to leave. Well, I'm really sorry something happened to your house from the hurricane. I mean, that what
Well,
happened?
no, that's the thing. We were renting a condo, and my mother left the senior citizen place over here, where it's those like double wide mobile home, whatever they call them, and manufactured homes.
Right, right.
Yeah, it's almost all manufactured homes in here. So she came over to the condo for the hurricane, and we set it out. We were safe. But coming back here, all of the houses on the cul-de-sac behind are gone. The one at the end of this cul-de-sac is gone. The trees that are still standing is where they actually found one of her neighbors, and there's just nothing left. There's just nothing left in Florida.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I mean it's an HOA. There's rules that she still has to pay rent to just have this lot. And as somebody, such an accomplished woman that my mother is, she's built 2 houses and owned property, and had a fulfilling career and everything. She misses the freedom too.
Yeah, we have an HOA and we didn't know it till after we bought the house. Because we
Oh
had one in Florida, and
no.
we swore when we sold that house we would never buy another one. An HOA.
No.
But thank goodness this one's pretty nice considering.
Okay.
And the fact that our house literally backs up to the back of the dam that
Uh-huh.
holds the reservoir in.
Yeah.
Like we don't have to do a bunch of landscaping up there. It's the deer run up the back of our yard and everything. What's the point of landscaping all that? They're gonna eat it all anyway.
Exactly. Let the grazers handle it and do their duty.
Yep.
There you
There's a
go.
very minimal amount of stuff at this one. The other one, I think they sent us a nasty letter because they didn't like the color that the guy who sold it to us painted it, and they sent us a nasty letter because we moved a plant away from our sidewalk. It blocked the side. You couldn't walk to our front door because this damn
Exactly.
plant was across it. So we moved it out in the middle
Exactly.
of the yard to keep it alive, you know, and these people sent us a letter complaining. And every time that we needed to mow, they would send us a letter and say it was 3 inches too long. But if you cut it that short, it would all die. So what are you supposed to do, right?
You know,
Stupid.
didn't
Sometimes
somebody say
HOAs
something
are
goofy
really
earlier?
weird.
Like there's no grass in California. What the hell was that? I've never heard of that.
There's a lot of places where there's not, and it's really weird. Our house,
Okay.
interesting. We don't exactly have grass. We have stuff. I don't know
Oh
what to
boy.
call it. We have trees and other stuff, but that's
Yeah,
because
they
we
go
live
sod.
we live up in the mountains now, so it's all right. I'm okay with that.
There you
Thank
go.
goodness
There you go.
the HOA
That's what we want, that elevation, that just totally different like pitch of air even.
yeah. I know. Yeah. We were basically anything at Bay Area is at
Really expensive.
very expensive and at water level. You are basically at water level, right, Pookie? I mean, you know, even Redwood.
It is, but I don't think you think the bay can actually overflow. I mean,
I
like,
don't think it would, but I'm
I
just
don't
saying
think we'd
it's all
ever get
really,
a
really
tsunami
flat.
there.
It's not very like,
Yeah,
that's why there's no grass and stuff. It's just, it's very, very flat and like the
I
sun
mean,
just burns
anytime
the
there's a
crap.
dam, I've seen the most like safe structures just totally overflow all over Florida. So
Yeah.
infrastructure is a big deal, but anything can break, anything can overflow.
Oh, I
If we
know.
move up to the mountains,
Yeah.
I'll
I know
assume
this
that it's
dam
just
is
gonna
possible, but
go down.
but I trust this dam more than I trust the like 10 empty lots along our street that were clearly houses. I don't even
At
know how
one
many
time.
years ago, but they burned to the ground. So
Oh,
I trust the dam more than I trust that.
yeah.
Yeah, no.
Talk about needing to have an emergency bag ready to go. That's another thing with the epilepsy, that
I know,
just
that's
having
what I was
to.
thinking with Thomas. I'm like, oh God, now that we're here, it's different. Like, even when we lived in the Bay Area, like, okay, there could be an earthquake, but you would want to stay put for a little while until you were sure the aftershocks were done, so you don't go get on the Bay Bridge and get squished, right, Pookie?
Oh,
Because the Bay Bridge has got 2 layers on top of each other, right? And when that big earthquake hit back in the 80s, one level fell on top of the other and crushed some cars. So
oh,
that always used to drive me crazy. I hated it. And then I had a seizure going over the Golden Gate Bridge with my husband, and he was like, I
oh.
hate driving you over bridges now because I can't pull over and give you meds. It's the worst thing ever. And yeah, that's not a cool thing at all. Yeah, nobody wants to do that stuff.
yeah. I've had someone pull over on the freeway, not a bridge yet, but a freeway.
A freeway.
Yeah, freeways are still bad because, yeah, they couldn't get me because the driver like couldn't get me off of the door. So then
Right.
the back passenger couldn't get me out because I was against the door so hard that if they opened it, I would have actually fell out and no
Right.
one would have been able to catch me.
And
So it
you'd
was
have
more
hit
like a
the head.
situation of you gotta let them finish.
That's
Gotta
so
let them finish, I guess. So
and then try to
that's how
treat
it
you.
happened.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Right.
That's rough.
Gotta watch you finish out, and then a
It's
passenger
so
seat, you
much
can't really
worse
turn them.
hearing it from other people after.
I know, isn't it? It's terrible. And my family's got to the point where half the time they don't even tell me stuff happened, or then they definitely don't give me details unless I'm like begging for it. And even then, they don't really want to.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm re-traumatizing people if I ask questions. But gosh darn it, don't you
I
really want to
don't.
know,
It's like sometimes
how long
I
was I
don't get
looking this way?
like
Yeah.
I don't understand some people when they tell you, you know, you had a seizure. It's not a big deal type shit. But then you say you're traumatized. My seizure isn't a big deal, but you're traumatized from the seizure. I you got to choose one.
It's one or the other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, my
Like,
husband
you can't
says
watch
it's
it.
a
I
big
take
deal.
it as a big deal. If you wake up and you're crying and all that, then I take it as a big deal. But a
Yeah.
seizure is a big deal either way to me. Every time, even if I don't go to the hospital, it's a big deal.
Exactly. Coming to us, like, I mean, coming from us, we deserve to know what happened, even
Yeah,
if it's not on
that's the
camera.
worst thing is if you can't ask and they don't want to talk about it,
Exactly.
and you're like, damn it, I need to know. And they're like, why do you need to know? Because I do, because it was me. And what if it was you? I don't know. Damn. Hey, you know what though? At least my epileptologist, I will say, when I told him that I wanted the video of all of my seizures in the hospital, he said, are you sure? Because most people they wouldn't be able to take it. And I was like, I don't care. I have to see this. And he said, you know what? If it was me, I would want to see me too. 100%. I agree with you. But I just want to tell you that most people wouldn't be able to do it. So, I'm warning you. Now I'm putting the
Did
thing
you
in.
watch it?
And I was like, all right, good.
Did you watch it?
Of course. And you know what I did? I covered my freaking head up 9/10 of the time. But
Oh,
I did get to see every single emergency staff member come running in and pumping the emergency thing and uncovering me and making sure I'm breathing and all that stuff. And at least you get to see how long did it last? How many did you have?
hmm,
Maybe if you're lucky, you'll get a view of your face. Maybe it won't be perfect, but at least, And then the other thing was that he gave me a copy of my EEG that was connected to me while that whole thing, and it's set at the same thing so that I could put it on a computer and show those spikes as it's happening on the frickin' video, right? So like
that's beautiful.
I was like, you are a kind human. But he's like, I would want
Yes.
it. I wouldn't want somebody to lie to me. I wouldn't want somebody to poo-poo me and be like, don't worry about it. You don't want to see that or whatever.
Yeah. Like,
It's a
like when
lot,
you say that you don't want someone to lie to you. Like,
right?
has there ever been a time where you had a seizure and no one really brought it up till hours later?
My husband didn't tell me for freaking 3 or 4 days. The other day I had it for,
Unstable.
but I had no, and he just said it like either last night or the night before, and I was like, "Say what? Why didn't you?" I said, "Well, what am I going to say? You were, out of it."
Yeah, it's like I had one time, and then I don't know when I came out of it exactly because the time when I did ask, I was like, it was like 4 hours later, and I was like, did I have a seizure? And they were like, yeah, you had one like 4 hours ago, and that's the third time you asked that question. And I was like, I don't remember asking one time, so I don't know when I came out of it. I've just been sitting here chilling with you guys and probably still postical and just sitting there not knowing I'm still out of it and still in a seizure.
Yeah, right. You're way post-ictal or frankly clustering, right? You're not there. You're not, and they just kind of think you are. That's It's such a bummer because you also don't want to be like, hey, I'm clustering all over the place because then that makes them all crazy too. I don't know what to say is
I
best
didn't
about
put the
that.
pieces together. I didn't put the pieces together that my mom was sitting next to me, but I just kept feeling like this weird vibe. I'm like, am I the only one paying attention to me? It's weird to say. I was just like, is anybody looking at me? Am I looking weird or whatever? And I don't know how long I've been sitting here, and I don't know when I came out of it, but there was a really foggy feeling. And then eventually I was just like, did I have a seizure? And they were like, yeah, you keep asking that. And I was like, oh, okay. Well,
Because you
it's the
can't
first time I
remember.
asked me, first time it came to mind. So, yeah.
Yeah, because you can't remember, or you're post-ictal, or you just had another one. Either
Four
way,
years, four
none of
hours is
them
a
are
long
like
time.
something where you have to be like, yes, and you keep doing it. Well, if I'm asking, it's because I don't know, right?
Right.
I mean, I'm not asking to be a pain in the butt. Ah, that's the worst. I hate it when you feel like you're a burden for
Oh yeah,
even
I've been told.
asking.
I hate being told I'm asking questions over and over, and it's like you say that because you don't understand my memory, but you keep like you're irritated that I keep asking questions, but I keep trying to tell you that I have bad memory, and you're irritated because I'm asking the same questions. This isn't going to stop. This is going to keep happening for
Not
the rest
going
of
to
my life. So
this
get
is
used to this. Stop getting irritated because it's not going to change. If you keep
Mhm.
getting irritated, it's just going to get worse for you, not me. Um, I had to say, this is going to happen. This is my memory. I might tell you things 4 or 5 times, maybe 6, maybe more, but
Mhm.
you
And
just
I know I've
gotta,
told you guys some of my stories that I just said, multiple times, but for her.
yeah, you just gotta learn to deal with people.
Yeah.
Learn to deal with it. Just my memory. You want to be around me? Stop asking me why I asked you this 5 times.
It's just go like, yeah, okay, okay, and answer the damn question.
Right.
I
Like
completely
being told, oh, you're on that podcast. Those people are making you sicker, making you sound sicker than you really are. It's like, oh, okay.
don't
Good to
worry
know how you
about
feel.
it. The next person
Good to
who
know.
says that thinking about it or talking about it or dealing with it is making it worse, I'm gonna punch, I think, because it definitely ain't making it worse. I'm sorry.
Right.
You know, I didn't have anybody to talk to about it before, and it certainly wasn't making it better. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I was told once too, just like I was just like, I got this podcast going where I talk to people about seizures. I was just like, it's getting kind of interesting. You should check it out. And then I was told, who wants to sit and talk about it, seizures? And then I was like, okay, I'm just not gonna respond to that. I was just like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. And then I was thinking, yeah, that person coming from that person, I could understand, but how they said it was, you could have phrased that differently. But
Right.
I thought about it afterwards. I was like, okay, yeah, who doesn't have epilepsy that wants to talk about things they've seen that possibly traumatize them? So I'm like, okay, I understand where you're coming from, but you might have answered that too fast without thinking about how I feel about your answer. So
Right. Or even, what if you've seen somebody, or you have a friend who has
Good night.
epilepsy, you had a classmate, somebody else, if you just, or you take care of somebody who has epilepsy, maybe it's interesting to you. Maybe you don't
right,
even, yeah, like that wasn't very nice of them and it's wrong because it's not true. I mean, plenty of
yeah.
people
So
online have made it clear that it's interesting to them and that they
that's
learn
what I was
things.
saying. I was like, maybe you don't want to watch, but hey, there is people who want to sit and talk about epilepsy because we have it. I didn't say because we have it, but I was just like, there is people.
Yeah, for sure, right?
Yeah, there's plenty of people who want to talk about it because we got to talk about it. I mean, if we don't talk about it, we're in our heads talking about it, and in your head talking about it ain't always the best thing for some people. Some people, they from in your head to bridge to water.
Yeah,
Um, yeah,
not. It's not always healthy to just be by yourself thinking about it in your head, especially because you don't want to bother the people around you. You've already talked to them about it enough. They don't want to hear about it anymore.
right.
Or,
There's been plenty of people on here who talked about, being on that edge of the balcony. You know what I mean? And yeah, there's been quite a few people who said they've been there or already went off that balcony and didn't still here. You know what I mean?
hmm
So yeah, it's rough. This really helps. I
It
say
does.
it really really does. Like a lot of people says it helps, but like I feel good the next day.
I
Like
do
even
feel
though
good.
I'm doing this, I feel good the next day. Not even because I'm helping other people feel good. I feel good just because I was here.
Yeah,
You know, it's
yeah.
like this does something for me. Just being able to talk. So
I think it's better probably than some therapy I could go and attend, I think, because the therapist isn't going to understand what I'm talking about. They're not going to
Right.
sympathize. They're not going to feel like, oh yeah, I know what you mean. That's the crappiest, isn't it? Or whatever. You know, they're just going to try to talk me through my feelings. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with therapy. I've been to plenty of therapy in my life. And I would if I trusted the person that I was talking to. But I trust you guys. And maybe that's why it works.
Yeah, I feel
Weird.
like you said, the neurologist, I mean, the therapist didn't, couldn't relate. They couldn't like
They don't.
relate or whatever. They just listened. And like you said, I was trying to tell my neurologist that, like certain things are going on. And she's just like sitting there writing the whole time. So I know she's taking notes.
But
But
she
then,
doesn't
like I said, then
necessarily
she
know
just,
what you mean.
Exactly.
yeah. So then, like, when she stops and tells me, I'm going to give you homework for this week, you need to do this, this, and this, and this. And I feel like if you talk to this person or talk to this person, since it's in your head, it'll go away. But I was like, yeah, pass this person up. I don't want to talk about that right now. So next week, when it came time to talk, I was just like, I didn't do that homework because I wasn't ready to talk to that person. I don't think I'm ready to talk to
Yeah.
that person at all, but I'm just letting you
Oh,
know
another
how I felt about it.
I mean, we've talked about like stress and overwhelming, thoughts and overwhelming situations and things like that. We all well know when we are ready or not to do
Yeah.
certain things because it can be dangerous for us. And if you're a therapist, you're just going to tell people, anybody, the same thing. You're going to say, well, I want you to do this there, this homework. You go talk to your whoever, go talk and do broach this subject, but you might not be ready to do that subject because it's going to send you into a cluster seizure that's going to end you up in the hospital or something. They need to be a lot more understanding, or else they need to be tied in with somebody, I think. And that is one of the reasons I haven't done it either. It's because they just want to give me another medication. For one thing, they wanted to make me sign some contract to say I would take whatever they gave me, and if I didn't, they would lock me up. And I was like, okay, wait a minute. Like, I would rather not even have therapy right now. I'll deal with it, okay? Rather than have you threaten me or whatnot, because I have a real medical condition that is causing me to need the therapy. You can't take over and just say, like, I'm now going to tell you what you take. And when I contacted them and told them I can't sign this because of this, because I have this and I'm already on a bunch of medication, you can't just throw things at me and I'm not necessarily going to agree to take it. They said, oh, well, we won't do that. And I was like, I still don't believe y'all. Like, even if you're not going to do that, I still don't trust you. And until I do,
Yeah.
I think I'm going to make that appointment. Sorry. It's not
Yeah.
that I don't trust
My therapist, she seemed like she was a little irritated with me. And then I had to tell her, when I got to the situation where I was actually able to talk to the person, it made me angry because I did not want to talk to the person that I'm sitting there thinking about. You said I should. So now I'm angry in my head and I'm just like, I don't want to talk to this person. I don't want to even think about it. So it didn't happen for a whole 7 days because I got angry that one time and I didn't even want to think about it again or take myself there. So I was just like,
Yeah. And
homework failed, assignment
it's
failed.
your right to do that, especially when you have a comorbidity like we do, where it's something that can be triggered by that. It's
Yeah.
not the same as just, oh, I've done, like I said, I've done therapy, right? Like, I know when they tell you go do this and talk to this and do this thing, uncomfortable stuff, fine. Uncomfortable stuff when you are epileptic can be deadly. Like I said, I don't have conversations with my goddamn mother on the phone. Like, I even have a hard time unblocking her text messages. So,
Oh,
um, yeah, because it gets scary for my family when I, do. Yeah, so like I can completely understand. It's not something you should force yourself to do, Pookie. if you're not ready to do that,
Right.
it's not safe. It's not just
Yeah.
about being comfortable and working out of your comfort zone. It's not safe. And
Right.
I'm
That's
not
what she was saying. She was like, do you not want to come out of your comfort zone? And I was just like, it isn't that. I just didn't want to talk. And she was like, well, what made you not want to talk? And I was just like, I don't even want to talk about what made me not want to talk. To be honest, I was just like, yeah, I didn't want to talk to the person, so I didn't. Told her it made me angry. Is there anything else we can talk about? Can we move on? And
right.
then she basically had a sideline question, something near basically what we just stopped talking about. Well, how does that person make you feel if you don't have to talk to them? Can you associate with that person even if you don't have to have that conversation? Are you able to be around that person without getting angry? And I was just like, it seemed like we just didn't change the subject at all. You just kind of
Mm-mm.
went into deeper, like what to talk about this person now, and you're not really wanting to know the person. You want to start writing down everything I'm saying. And I told her, can we just end this day? I don't want to talk about it. I'm getting angry again. I'm not even on camera. I didn't say that, but I was just like, I'm not even on camera, but
Right.
I'm
You
getting
have
angry
no
again
like
because you
real
got me thinking
reason for
about it. And I
this.
keep telling you.
Exactly.
I felt like I was saying it over and over, even though I wasn't. I felt like I keep telling you this over
Mhm.
and over. And I was just like, can we talk another time? Because I'm getting angry thinking about I didn't do it. And yeah. She was like, all right, we can do this. And I was just like, all right, talk about it next week or talk about whatever next week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So for those kinds of
Yeah.
professionals, they don't even establish like a goal for the appointment at the beginning. They just start talking and following their own game plan to get some kind of information out of you. Yeah, I prefer
Yeah.
having, an idea of like the reason for going to the appointment, what I expect to happen. That's
Yeah.
that's another
Yeah.
reason I'm
Is there something we're working on in particular? That kind of thing.
yeah, exactly.
I always preferred that. Yeah.
All right. Well,
I
now I'm
had
working on taking the dog out and tucking in the little ones.
little ones. I know you're way in Florida,
Oh
girl.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're
11:11
like
right
friggin'
now.
11 o'clock. You gotta go take a walk
Oh
with a
boy, he is
dog.
and there's
My goodness.
frogs. Those fat, ugly toads are everywhere right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
not gonna
yeah.
miss this
And then
place.
sometimes they'll get caught in your car door and you end up with a dehydrated tree
Ooh,
frog stuck in your car door or in your
right on
door
the
of your house.
railing
That
and
happened to me
Right.
twice in Florida.
yes,
I hated that.
yes. All right.
I felt so bad, like, oh my God, I killed
But
it.
it's
I
okay, it's
didn't
okay,
mean
it's okay, Puppy.
to.
Right. Same
Okay,
here.
now I'm
Like there's
freaking out.
frogs
The
by my
dog can
mom's
tell I'm
house.
freaking
Okay,
out.
okay.
And there's
All
so
right, you
many
guys. I'll
frogs
see
in
you
the
next
grass
week.
that you can't see them. And then you step on it and you notice because it's squishy and you slide a little bit.
Okay. I will
No,
bring the phone. I will
no.
bring my flashlight. Thank you for that reminder.
Yes, take a flashlight. You do that.
All right, you guys. Have
Okay,
a good
good.
one. See you later.
All right,
All right.
Katie.
You
I
have
want
a
to see
good
you
one.
Friday. Please
Will
be
do.
here, okay?
Yep. See you then.
Okay,
See you
bye.
both then.
All right, sounds good, Pookie. I will see you then. Have a great week. Thank you so
You
much for
too.
doing this. I really,
Have a good
okay.
rest of your week, and I'm glad you made it. I'm glad you were able to make it through. Fight to see a better day.
Yes, me too. Let's hope it follows through. Like you said, tomorrow. You feel better tomorrow. I will feel better tomorrow. It will last. It will last a few days. It'll be good.
I
We'll make
already
it to
feel good
Friday.
right now, and I feel like the feeling good right now is just gonna flow through tomorrow. Like I
Yeah, there
might
you
watch
go.
something right now and just like sometimes I get this vibe like I feel like smiling, like something I feel really good,
Yes,
like
good, good.
smiling for
That's
no
what we
reason.
that's what we want for sure. 150%. I love that. I'm going to take a picture of this thing on the side of the thing. But I will see you Friday. I will move hell and high water again to be here.